Dave, as chair, and I know you're appearing remotely, do you want me to kind of go through the agenda for today's meeting?
Yes, I would like that.
Okay. So with that, it looks like we have 4 of the committee members here, 3 are in person, 1 is appearing by remote means. I think we'll move to item number 2, which is the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move to item 3, approve minutes from the December 9 Special Landfill Negotiation Committee meeting. I do have a draft of those meeting minutes if the committee members would like to review. Otherwise, if they have a chance to review.
You have a copy of it or just on your?
It's just on my laptop. Get this.
You wanna look at it, John? You were here for that one.
I already scanned through.
You did?
Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from December 9th, 2025 meeting.
We got a motion, do we have a second?
I can't.
I'll second it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's what we're going to
We got a motion by Brad, second by Dave, to approve the December 9, 2025 Special Landfill Negotiation Committee meeting minutes. All those in favor, vote by signifying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Any abstentions?
I will abstain.
Okay, the motion will carry. Go to item 4, discuss landfill negotiations with waste management. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So had an opportunity to review the term sheet that was circulated, I think it was December 9. Yeah, we got all that weather. So the committee was reviewed, had a chance to discuss. Let's see, I think the committee really only had a couple questions. One thing, looking at the host payment, the town's request or the committee's request would be whether we can keep the 3% minimum for the CPI annual adjustment, which has been in the previous, I think that's been in since the 90s agreement. So just keeping the 3 to 5% CPI adjustments.
I mean, the 3, I don't recall, the 3 to 5.
It's a minimum
Annie.
of 3, maximum of 5.
Annie,
I mean, yeah, I think.
I'll get it.
That's agreeable.
Next question was related to the solid waste generated in town of Stubbs. I know, I think the town, or the town committee, is in agreement with the proposal from Waste Management. We just wanted clarification. I know there's a 100-pound a week limit. Just for clarification, how would that be monitored and enforced? I think a couple of the committee members mentioned that some residents bring in their neighbor's waste as a courtesy, or sometimes they bring in waste for family members. Just how do you see that being an issue?
I think there's a number of ways we can do it, Eric. I think you kind of had a lot of experience at Cranberry Creek, one there.
Yeah, I mean, we
different ways of policing
What
it,
they're-
is kind of how you're, think how we would manage that, enforce it.
Yeah, I think that there'd be a way we could come up with it.
There's,
I mean, cause currently, Tina, you have the little.
everybody has a
their
card.
ID card.
Yep, everybody has a card, we have to put that, the number in the comment section. That's the only section that we have available to us where we can put that. If you're bringing it in for somebody else, you are supposed to have their card as well. Not just your
That was my
card.
question.
Or that, yeah,
So then you would just divide their total waste between those two.
right, I
Cards,
mean, you could put it in the comment section on both of them, you know, but then, yeah, you could divide it by that, because we can't we can't differentiate weight. If this person had 3 days, that person had 5
Without
days.
them driving on the
But yeah,
scale
I mean,
twice.
and that's what was one of your guys' requirements, was that card and that number in that comment. And if you are bringing somebody else's, then that person was either supposed to be in the vehicle, or that you have that card, because we,
Okay,
yeah.
so if you bring the second card, that would give you up to 200 pounds. But let's say, for example, I dropped my mother's off, she's 92.
Yep,
And I don't go to the dump, but every 2-3 weeks, cause I've got a truck, I can just load it all up. Are you gonna average it over 2 to 3 weeks, or how are you gonna do that?
yeah, I mean, I think that's what, the initial, why we put that 100 pounds in there was to eliminate the houses and garages and barns, that kind of thing, or full house remodels, or, I mean, it's regular household waste.
We run a roofing company.
Yeah. And that, I mean, 100 pounds per week, I mean, normally when we send our reports to you, we send it every month, at the end of each month. So I don't know if we tally it up at the end of each month, I don't know a good way to do the 100 pounds.
Yeah, I was just thinking, cause like I delivered every 2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah,
but I've got quite a bit in there, I've got over 200 pounds, I would guess. And if you average it, then I'm fine with that, but
yeah,
otherwise, we'll run into problems.
right.
Would it be easier to to amend it to being 400 in a month?
Yeah,
I would think so.
because then we
you're
would
not-
just tally it up at the end of the month.
Right.
I mean, because you've got some people that
Less,
come in
less
3 times a
paperwork
week.
for you guys, I would think.
Yeah,
Okay, cause 100 pounds, yeah, okay, so 400 pounds per person per week.
per month.
Per month.
Per month.
Per month,
So that way
yes.
if one, we weigh 200 pounds, the next week you're 50 pounds.
Let's see. Looks, North Hutchinson Road maintenance compensation, I think, the committee is, in agreement with that proposal. Again, just a clarification request, process for reimbursement of, expenses. Is this something the town board would vote, to submit to waste management for reimbursement?
Yeah, that's how I've seen it done.
Okay.
You're gonna-
Well, I have a question on that.
Go ahead.
I don't quite follow the determination of when the road should be fixed. Because we had an issue there that was going on for a long time with that major dip that was becoming a valley, that was getting deeper, and it wasn't fixed. So I think, how do we have a mechanism to make sure that if there's an issue with the road, that it isn't taken care of right away?
So right now, we work with the county or a contractor to do it, because we cannot do we're not supposed to do any of the work on the,
Right, but the determination of when it should be fixed, is it solely the responsibility of the town? And if we find that the road isn't suitable at a particular time, do we just go ahead and fix it and send you a bill? Do you follow me?
Yeah, the determination of when work needs to be done and like,
Right, I would have,
up to the town.
yeah, I would have
And
fixed,
then you would approach of
Yeah.
WM and say, here's
Some
what, here's what
breakups are
we're,
more
here's
Yeah.
what we think needs to be done.
developed
Here's the
faster than
scope.
others.
Right, yeah.
In dips.
Yeah.
You know, you provide the bid numbers and then.
Is this something that the committee would approve first, or?
The town board typically approves
Yeah.
these
Town
things.
Town
board
board,
and the
yeah,
committee
town board
together,
usually.
they would approve it, or what?
They're all in agreement that the town board would make that determination and,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
or
there's-
put it out for bid and then bring it to
I
waste
mean,
management.
this is not that different from, quite frankly, what most townships already have afforded to them. If there's a business in play or businesses in an industrial park, you can do a special assessment on businesses to do things like this and vote as a town to make them pay for road improvements and things. It's just in our agreement as kind of a unique for this particular business, the landfill, right? I would think follow a similar process to like a special assessment where the town would say, okay, this needs to be fixed. You guys agree or disagree that it needs to be fixed, and then it goes to, you know, contractors for bid, you scope it out, it is the approach that you have. We would have obviously an opportunity to maybe dispute that, but maybe, you know.
Before the work was
Yeah,
actually done.
right.
Okay,
Any other questions related to that item?
I've got a question.
I mean, so what is the process then? Is this process gonna be outlined in the agreement?
Yes.
It will be, okay, okay.
I mean, it's already spelled out in the current agreement. I think we're going to clarify that, cause I mean, the current agreement, the original document is from 1993, and it's uneditable. So I think we're going to revise the agreement to have it in one format. So if there's future expansions, we have a workable document, to edit or amend as needed.
Sound fair?
If I can ask also, back to the other one of 400 pounds a month, what happens when someone brings in 600 pounds? Or, well, no. I mean, when do you stop them from coming in? You know, they come in and they already have 400
Fee
pounds.
would apply after.
Yeah,
400.
so it's the 400 pounds a month that, it would be at no cost for residents.
Yep.
I think after that allotment, then the fee would apply for that.
And then
resident.
how are they gonna let the person know that, you know what? You
You've
know,
already hit this, so now
Yes.
you need to pay as a cash customer.
because there'll be a lot of mad people if all of a sudden they get sent a bill or something.
Right,
So I mean, I just wanted to put that out there.
And we can post that as well, when this
Yeah, they
agreement
can-
takes effect, that, hey, you know, the new agreement, we can put a posting up at the landfill.
and you can also, you
Communicate
have a
that.
website too, right? Where
We
it can
do.
be posted on your website.
Yeah, absolutely,
Right,
yep.
okay.
And I mean, final approval of this agreement
Right.
rests in the town board, so, the committee can only
Advise.
make its recommendation,
Yep.
as the proposed terms agreed upon, and then it'll go to the town.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions related to the, road maintenance compensation? Then I think one other, the property protection plan. I know the term sheet, it was kind of vague. What does that plan look like, I guess, is the main question. It says, provided for eligible properties within a mile of waste limits, including the expansion, includes home residences, adjoining land and agricultural lands, commercial or industrial properties would not qualify, but what is the plan?
yes.
So, do you mean, how would the plan be, so you want us to propose a detailed plan as opposed to what you had some templates you wanted to maybe work from, or do you want us to propose a detailed plan, how like they have to inform us when they post it for sale? Or do you just have a question of what lands qualify?
Yeah, I mean, I guess this seems to be an item over, separate or and distinct from the sociological payments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So typically the property protection plan is basically, it's to protect the homeowner within the boundaries of that, landfill
Okay.
perimeter, that if they were to sell, that property price is guaranteed where the assessment point is to be protected if they can't sell for that amount,
Okay,
the landfill would
Okay,
So, I mean, that's
that's,
the basis of a plan, and there's, there's nuances and stuff in there, but that's kind of the idea behind it. Yeah.
And that would be just for living residents,
That would be for residents.
not for just bare land, just living
Correct,
residents.
yes.
What happens if the bare land is priced, valued lower?
Yeah.
With no
doesn't-
residence.
Sometimes it's
Does it
agricultural.
applies to
All land.
okay.
agricultural.
Okay, I just wanted to make
The
sure.
the sociologicals.
Yeah, so the neighbor that's a quarter mile away isn't getting $2,000 an acre more, same type of land, and
Right.
this person within the mile, is gonna take the hit.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And
Did you have a question on the previous thing? You raised your hand before we moved on.
Oh, now I'm gonna forget that
Oh.
one, I kinda did. I forget easy.
All right.
What's a mechanism for determining the property protection plan? in
The
terms of-
assessed value of the property.
Right, so,
Basically, it's, you would, the homeowner would get an assessed value of what the property is, and typically there's a clause in that plan that we can have our own, assessment done if we don't think it's close, or else we'd agree with what assessment you have. And then whatever that value
and
is.
if they disagree, then what happens?
I'd have to look at language.
There's usually
There's
There's a third
yeah,
third
ar-
assessment.
Arbitrary
There you go.
assessment, arbitrator essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we usually have a right, first right of refusal in there, we could buy it, right, for the agreed upon assessed value,
Yeah.
or let it go to market. And then, obviously if you go over it, then we do nothing.
Right.
If you come in under, right, then we have to either make up the difference, or buy it.
Okay.
And I think it's only happened once since
The beginning.
the beginning, and that was Rick and Mary's.
anything else from the committee members? I think I got the couple items of clarification that, we wanted to address.
Did you cover the, what we're getting in actual host fee? I don't remember that.
The proposal is, $2.16 a ton for solid waste. And then, there's some language regarding, DNR approved alternate cover. But I think what you're probably wondering about is the fee amount, right, the $2.16 per ton.
Yes.
Do you wanna take that, Dave?
Well, I don't care if you take it or whoever, what we recommended last time was a bit higher than that.
Right.
Yeah, well, and 2.7, 275 is what we were gonna
Yes.
come back at for the tipping fee.
Our recommendation for the host fee is based on, we looked at what what other landfills with recently negotiated agreements in similar markets are getting around the state of Wisconsin, with input from you guys on the lack of impact that the landfills had on the community from a nuisance perspective. So we provided what we believe is a really competitive host fee compared to similar markets, similar landfills and similar markets, and what we've established as impact that the business has on the community. So that's where ours come from, but obviously this is a negotiation, so, 275. We'll take that into consideration.
Sure.
And we need to look at other, like I said, we view this as one whole compensation package, not just individual parts. So perhaps there's other areas we can.
Is that an item that, Micah and I can contact each other about, depending on what you guys discuss?
Yeah, I think if it's something you want us to take back, if you want us to take back to 275, Micah and us, we can look at it and maybe propose alternative terms where we could get closer. I'm not saying we can get to the 275, but I think you're asking us to consider it.
I think the committee, our plan was to, following this meeting, hold a separate meeting to discuss.
Okay.
Once we got these clarifications,
Okay.
and then coming back to you guys with.
Yeah, if there's like this, you guys can certainly mark this up and send this back.
Yeah.
Something to consider. alternative to these.
Perfect. Does that work for you, Dave, and to the committee members? I mean, we still have to finalize, now that we got these clarifications,
Yeah.
discuss and
I
deliberate
think that'd
and
be fine.
Yeah, I do too.
vote whether to approve or if we wanna send a counter, term sheet.
Yes, that works for me.
Okay.
I do have a couple of questions though on an item we didn't go over, was the sociological payments, provide an annual payment of $1,000 per year, owner occupied residence within 1 mile of permitted limits of waste, including the proposed expansion. We approved that tentatively as a committee, I think, at the last meeting, but just some questions. This looks like just a landowner, like parcels identified in that 1 mile radius.
The 39, you mean?
Yes, we'd have to go through and vet who's, you know, you can find out who's got a home and then occupying that home within that list.
Right.
Right. Not a renter, not a business, you know what I mean, they're actually occupying it. That's-
Right, not a rental house.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Is it
And-
actually, is it actually a home within that 1 mile, or they have a home
Occupy, yeah.
beyond 1 mile, but land also?
You have to be living in a home within that 1
Yeah.
mile. This is that one that we're
Okay.
Yes, right.
Clarification.
And I
'Cause there
believe-
was a-
Go ahead.
Well, there was a couple that just were, like, the line goes through that parcel that their house is on, but the house is actually just outside it, so that would not count. The house itself, or the building structure has to be within that radius.
Then I think, the current language of the active agreement is, owners within that 1 mile radius had to petition to the, landfill advisory committee, or the town's, landfill committee, to start receiving that sociological payment.
Yeah, and Michael, we usually have a letter as well that we like to see as part of these sociological payments, right? Kind of acknowledging the impact part of it, or not impact.
Correct, yeah, because if the idea is right, that it's sort of offsetting what we wouldn't want is, for the landowners, and I guess file a suit for trying to get monetary compensation for sociological impacts when we're compensating for that already, so we usually just send a letter to them, we'll memorialize that.
So that usually becomes part of it, or, like I said, this is a big compensation package, the committee can certainly choose to take the compensation elsewhere. But what we try to provide here is something competitive and similar to what, we don't wanna play games, we wanted to just kind of give you guys something that we think very fair for the
Yeah.
setting here. But these things can be moved, can change.
Anything else from the committee?
Well, just to continue on it or clarify, the question that came up in my mind is, so the landowner, if their house falls within the 1 mile, petitions the town's landfill committee to start receiving payments. And if it takes them 5 months to petition the committee and do it, does that get backdated to the agreement date, or just when?
Yeah, and I don't think that the landfill committee, I know they're involved in it in the old host agreement, how it's, more of like a hearing process, it looks like. But I mean, given just the components of the property value guarantee, you need the assessment, and there's a couple things, I mean, I don't, and Tyler, correct me if you disagree, but any sort of appearance before the landfill committee doesn't seem necessary, because the property sales
Yeah.
typically a little quicker moving vehicle, right?
Yeah,
People don't wanna
if you
roll
want, I
around.
mean, we can provide you guys a written property value protection plan, like, I'm sure we can give you guys, I mean, I bulleted it out, but
Yeah.
there's a process. that we
Okay.
have at several.
Yeah, if I can get an outline,
Michael, we've got a few we can probably send over for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just curious, at what point do you start measuring that mile from the landfill? Is it like the edge of the landfill?
Yeah, it's from the
Limits of what-
the limits of the landfill and now the proposed expansion.
Mhm.
A
Permitted
mile
homes.
outwards from that,
Okay.
in a radius.
Is there a number of how many houses that may affect right now? Do you know or not?
I believe Waste Management provided a list of 39
Properties.
properties.
We got the vet.
Um,
Yes.
some of that's agricultural land, I don't know, we'd have to whittle through to see how many of those are actual occupied residences or homes within that 1 mile.
I can take it as an action item if you want to do that from a
Thank you.
GIS perspective and provide you a list of the homes that are within that.
Sure.
And then you guys, that's typically how it's done, is when we provide that, you guys can kind of.
Yeah, that'd be
Like, oh, I
good.
know those guys, I know that.
If any.
Yeah, and,
They
yeah,
don't rent, they rent, they don't rent.
right, I kinda started that, but I mean, it looks to be like maybe 10 to 15, maybe.
Cause when we get north, that's also town of Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So that, I'm, that's not
Right,
part of this.
yeah, that would be incumbent on that town to have initiated this process.
Right. Yeah, so those don't get counted into our.
Oh, yeah, so then, I
Those
guess that
residents.
would be
Right.
less than that.
Because I think once
Like
we
80.
got north in that was Crottos and Glatfeltes.
Yes,
And that,
Yeah, I can see where it's circled above, north of the road there into Atlanta.
but back to the question though, is for them, whatever that number ends up being. Once the agreement is finalized and approved by the board, the town board, and they take that customer or resident, let's say Rick and Mary Hall, they're within that. And it takes them 5 minutes to learn about it, or 5 months to learn about it and apply through the committee to you to get payments. Does the payment go back to the start of the agreement, or just when the landowner, a
Well,
petition was
I think
initiated?
they even mentioned that there's gonna be a more streamlined process where we don't have to do the petition to the committee.
Yeah,
Oh, right,
that's
that's what I
really,
thought.
that's really you guys, I mean,
Sociological, we just established a list and they
Yeah.
start
Yes.
receiving it.
yeah.
But they don't
Whatever
have to,
list
it's
is agreed
just-
upon,
okay.
right, and then we
They
ask
would have
for-
to, they'd acknowledge the letter Mike was
Yeah.
talking about. in order
Yeah,
to-
so
I
what,
got you.
every year, there's basically a
Yep.
letter
Okay.
that they come in and just sign to receive, and then we hand over the social.
Alright, I misheard you. I thought you were just referring to
Yeah,
the
the
property
value
protection
protection
plan.
plan is what they would have to initiate.
Yeah.
So if they wanna
Oh,
sell
okay.
their home, they would have to initiate that plan.
Yes.
And usually that starts.
And that's where the sociological payment.
That's for the property value protection.
So
So if they're
when
gonna sell
they,
their home, they tell us they're selling it, provide us an assessment, we usually can either say, okay, yeah, that looks good, or we can get our own assessment done and
Okay,
Yeah.
but the
sociologicals-
sociologicals, they would just start receiving it
correct,
Basically,
when-
yeah, it'll just be that
when this list is
stipulation.
finalized or.
Yeah, there'll just be
vetted.
that stipulation for that letter.
I got you.
Yeah.
so when they get this once a year letter that they need to
Yep.
address, fill out, does it directly go?
Should be mailed to the homeowners, to that address.
Yeah, I know, but when they get it, the homeowner,
Mhm.
and they sign for it, okay? Does that letter need to be turned in by the homeowner to the town clerk for tax purposes?
It's,
So
it's
it's
usually.
back to- or is that gonna-
It's back to us,
That's
so
back to
us.
typically we'll send an acknowledgement that I still live here, I'm not renting this.
Yep.
I'm eligible under the stipulations of the host
Okay.
agreement,
Yeah.
and then we require, a W-2 for our tax purposes, so that.
It
that
is a
accounted.
W-9, I think. just to be
Yeah, I
clear.
know, yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not an accountant.
But I don't
Yes.
think you guys would need a copy or.
Well, I'm just wondering, does the town need to have a record of those certain people as well?
I don't think so,
And you
'cause
guys-
It would be included in the agreement, in like the executed agreement, to this
Mhm.
point, there's going to be
That
a
list.
list of the eligible parcels
Right.
in that agreement, so you're gonna know what that is, and then obviously when people sell or move off, then that whittles itself down.
Okay.
The new owner, if they sold their house, doesn't get it.
No,
Correct.
Because they're
Yeah.
moving into it.
I just clarified.
Yeah, they know.
Okay, and then so that would also apply to someone that bought some land and his building was in that file,
That's
then
right, they would
also,
not be-
they would never get it. It's
Right,
just
this is who's ever
existing.
existing as the landfill's going, if you're choosing to move within that area, that's
Yeah.
a choice. here.
if there was a
Exactly.
third expansion in sometime in
Yes,
the
and then that
future,
would change.
then.
They
you know,
might happen to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Anything else from the committee?
Just, we wanna make sure that payments begin on the acceptance of this agreement.
Right. Or once the expansion is, gets approved, or gets its final approvals. Yeah,
Could it be worded that, once we agree on the terms, both parties, payments begin then?
Yeah, again, it can, it's part of the overall, I mean, right now we have an agreement on the remaining tonnage we have that's gonna be significantly less than what even we propose. It's just part of the compensation that I want the committee to consider, right, is that can be part of this change, is it can apply to the tonnage even on the existing permitted landfill, it can certainly do that. It's just again, more compensation for the township, and again, when we talk about compensation for impact, that's what we're trying to find a balance on.
Then I think, what we'll do is adjourn for now. The committee will, I'll stand by, or I'll be in talks with Micah about the property protection plan. What was that other?
Can we get meeting minutes for the December 9th? Or is that
Yeah,
gonna be
absolutely.
posted? Okay.
What was that second item? It was property protection plan,
You're gonna contact them
sociological.
on the tonnage.
Yeah, or, tipping fee to see if we can.
Well, that's something that, the committee will discuss, so this.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, they gotta take it back with them to talk about it.
Oh, the tonnage?
Oh, yeah, I'll talk with Mike.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it, but they also need to address it.
yeah.
Okay.
The only other thing was the 400 pounds per month instead of 100 per week.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
I just got, maybe for clarification, Tina, I know when we did the striping on the road, I think you guys helped pay for that, is that something they need to do? Does that need to be included, or is, you know?
Well, I would consider that part of the agreement.
Yeah, it's part of the.
Any maintenance on the road,
Any
whether it's
maintenance.
striping or.
Currently, the
repairing
proposal
that.
is $5,000 a year for routine maintenance. I would probably classify striping as routine maintenance rather than major repairs or construction.
What does it cost the town to plow that road for a year? Do we ever assess the cost?
No.
If we were to,
I don't know.
if we were to stripe it and put lines on it, does the town know the cost?
Well, we actually did,
The
Railroad.
railroad crossing, the
Yeah,
railroad crossing she's talking about.
yeah,
The
that's.
striping for that, cause the
Okay.
railroad came back and said, that those markers have to be in
Yeah.
place, the sign and then the white lines. So, and that's back when Tom was.
Yep.
And we had just a verbal agreement, I think, with Tom that, but I think the striping failed within a year, the first,
It did.
It did, and then
they came back.
they reneged, they said, well, we'll fix it, because it only lasted, it wasn't even a year.
No.
It was several months, and it was already fading. They said they'd come back and do it for no charge, and then they reneged and said, oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to charge you. So we ended up paying for it twice. I think it's still fairly good now. I mean, it has faded some, but not like it did the first time they did it.
So, yeah, we'll adjourn, I'll be in contact with, Micah. And,
1 sec, just another thing that came up. Now, the 400 pounds, there's several people that take their garbage on Saturdays.
Mhm.
Do you,
We do not
Estimate.
track that.
yeah,
No. We don't track it. But you guys limit what they can
Yeah,
bring
there's
in
no
also.
scale, no
Yeah, right,
scale
it's
or
Right,
not
anything
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah,
On
it's a certain
Saturdays.
amount of bags here,
they can't drop a mattress in
we
there.
can't see everything that's in that load all of the time,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's, sometimes they're in trailers, you know.
Sure.
yeah, if that's everything, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Also move.
Second?
The motion to second to adjourn, all those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
And motion carries. So, be in contact, I'll reach out. Micah, I'll follow up with you, if not this week, early next week.
All right, that sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank yous.
Dave, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, thank you then.
Thanks, sir.
Wasn't there a Bears fan in this?
Not yet.
I think that was a topic last,
Yeah.
we didn't
Mike.
prepare.
Mike is from